Thank you for being here. What a joy. Thank you for being here. I have to compose myself every time I see that video because I still get emotional about it. And this is how we move energy, right? We allow the emotions to come through us. The part about my mom, you would think, is what makes me emotional, right? That's been 9 years now, and of course I miss her dearly. But what makes me emotional is the conversations that I've had with many of you recently. And it is the knowing that we're worthy. And I don't know why this is happening right now. This does not happen in live events. But this is something that pulls at my heartstrings so much because I am in this room via Zoom with some of the most beautiful souls I've ever met in my life. You're all a light. And we work so hard on being confident and showing the outside world that we're worthy of all the things in the outside, because that's what we're taught to do. And instead, what if we just knew? What if we just knew we're already worthy? What if we just knew? Okay, Josh, I actually do need you now because I need a Kleenex. What if we just knew? And so the conversations I've been having it so much lately is there's a lot of fear in the world right now. There's a lot of unknowns in the world right now. There's a lot of you are in real estate. There's a lot of unknowns in real estate. Some of you are entrepreneurs, small business owners, right? And it's all those fears of the outside world. And so what we do is we work on things to help us be more confident. Thank you. Right? I'll be more confident. I'll be more competent in my job. And that will help me get to where I want. That will prove I'm worthy of everything I desire. I'll just work harder. I'll become more confident. I'll become more competent in what it is I do. And I learned very quickly it's not about being confident or competent only. It's about knowing that we're worthy right now. So a lot of times we'll say things such as, and I captured some of the quotes of conversations I've had in recent times, past couple, maybe the last week or whatever. And here are some things I heard. I have a dream and I don't know what's stopping me from going after it. I pursue big things, but then I sabotage my success and I hit a ceiling. Things look really good on the outside, but on the inside, I'm crumbling. And the most repetitive one that I hear over and over and over is I know that I'm worth more than what I charge for my services, but I'm afraid that if I charge it, I will lose business. And even worse, I'll be judged by the people that I love. Any of these resonate with any of you? Yeah. Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today, and then again tomorrow, I'm just going to kind of let you know what this is going to look like. There is a superpower within you, and we're going to find it. Okay. But before we discover what that is, which if you've spent enough time with me, you already know. Okay. Is we got to talk about the difference between confident and being worthy. We got to take a look at what that looks like. Because the goal for me as your coach, as your mentor, is not for you to be very confident in what you do and build a multi-million-dollar company or business and not fulfilled at the same while you're doing that. So we have to understand the difference between being confident and being worthy. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to discuss, like, what does that look like for you? Where do you spend a lot of your time? If there is a part of your life right now that does not feel fully fulfilled, are we going to be able to pinpoint why? Okay. Then we're going to talk about, the difference between worthiness and confidence. The way that we're going to do that is I'm going to get you into a place that I've gotten many of you several times, and we keep revisiting because it's a difficult one, on what do I want? What do I want? What do I want from my life? What does it look like? So first we're going to start with, what do I want? I'm going to show you how to go there. Then we're going to talk about the person that you are to be in order to have what you want. Now, do you notice I said be? Not what do you need to do? Not how much more do you study? Not who do I need to be? And we're going to discover, am I working on my worthiness or am I working on my confidence? Okay. What do I want? Who do I need to be? The difference between worthiness and confidence. And then we're also going to talk about imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? Do we have it? Okay. Today, we're going to uncover some things about ourselves that we might not want to uncover. But I promise you, tomorrow we're going to bring it all together. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, how do I create boundaries? Meaning, how do I use the language I choose? How do I create the success I desire without burnout? Okay. Because I want you to have a healthy connection. And tomorrow we're going to put it all together on a healthy connection between the self-love that you have and for yourself and those around you, and how that will pour out in every area of your life, every single area of your life, including your business, and especially your business. All right. We're going to talk about the superpower that will attract more joy and more money. But I'm also going to bring on Josh tomorrow for a small part. Some of you have heard from him. Some of you have met him. Okay. Because there is something that we high achievers have a tendency to do. We tend to be in our masculine energy a lot. What I mean by our masculine energy is not female and male. It is the doing. It is the working harder. It is the out working and wearing 80 hours a week as a badge of honor. And so if you noticed, I was very specific on female entrepreneurs on this one because we're going to have some candid conversations. What's expected of us as females? Are we spending time in our masculine energy a lot, doing well? What happens to the people we love, not just our spouses or our partners, but the people around us? What happens when we stay in our masculine energy all the time? How does that happen? How does that create a fulfilling life or not for those that we love? So when I'm talking about the masculine and the feminine energy tomorrow, I don't want you to think man and woman. We're going to talk about the energy where the masculine is the doing, the mechanical, the wearing what we do as a badge of honor, rather than getting into our imagination and being. Who do we want to be? So we're going to wrap it all together tomorrow, okay? Some of you are like, all right, well, Brooke, what does this have to do with my business? Okay, great. Worthiness, confidence, woohoo. I got news for you. Everything. Has anybody ever climbed the ladder of success, made it to number one in their market, or hit a goal that they wanted to achieve? Had the money in the bank that you desired. And the minute you hit it, you looked and went, something's still missing. Why don't I feel fulfilled? What's going on? Anyone? Or am I all alone on that one? Yeah. Yeah. We'll strive. We'll go into the mechanical. We'll go into the mechanical. We'll work really hard for something and we'll get there because we have this belief that I'll be happy when, I'll be fulfilled when, this will be exciting when. And then we get there, we go, something's still missing. Or even worse, what we're going to talk about tomorrow is the imposter syndrome around there. I don't belong here. They must have made a mistake. I hope they don't find out this about me. If they only knew the things in my past, they would never put me on stage. What do we do there? So here's my promise to you. I will never coach you from a place that I have not been through myself. When I say this to you, it's because it's something that was really, really, really deep within me. Really deep within me. What I would do is I would strive to hit goals, and everything looked really good on the outside. And then when something like a divorce in my life would happen, it would be like, what happened? You seem so happy. You're having it all together. No, I was dying inside because I was so worried about what was happening on the outside world and how I was coming across. Inside, I didn't even know myself. I didn't even know who I was, what I wanted. And God forbid, if I don't know what I want, how do I create the boundaries or the voice to state what I want so that I'm living a life by default in what everybody else designed for me or what I should be doing, what I should want, what good girls want. The other part of this too, as us women, is we have a circle, we have a community, we have friends, okay? So we can say, what would I love? This is the big goal of mine. But don't have too much success because you don't want everyone else talking about you. Who does she think she is? Who does she think she is? Right? Or be beautiful, but don't be so beautiful that you make the women around you uncomfortable. So fit in enough to not totally stand out, but don't be so beautiful that you're going to make someone uncomfortable. Be really happy in your marriage and have, or your partnership or whatever that is, right? In your friendships, but not too happy. Because then you won't be able to fit in with the conversations and the gossip with your friends and family about it. So if you don't have anything to complain about, what are we connecting on? So do really well, have really big dreams, but not too big. Don't make the people around you uncomfortable. Okay. Don't charge too much for your services because someone in your family or your friends and family might think, who does she think she is? Give everyone in your family a discount. Put everyone else first. So it's interesting because Josh and I were just having this conversation last night, and I'm going to share. I hope, Josh, you're okay that I'm sharing this with them, but I promise vulnerability and I promise everything that we have. So we went out to dinner last night. We have a date night every Wednesday. It is on the calendar. Unless one of us is traveling for business, we're having date night every Wednesday. I think we've missed maybe 2 or 3 in the whole time we've been together. Okay, so we were talking, and we were talking about women, the difference between women and men. And what is happening, this is my observation, is the standard of living and society says, yes, okay, it a lot of times will take 2 people working in the household in order to support. Okay. So we're looking and we go, okay, do really well in your career, make your spouse proud or yourself or the people that you love or whatever. I'm not assuming all of you are married, and I'm not assuming that all of you have a husband or a partner. But I want us to pay attention to this. We're working full time, many of us, business owners, entrepreneurs, high achievers, love what we do. Your house isn't clean. Who's getting blamed for that? The kids are a mess. Who's getting talked about on that? If your husband doesn't get a foot rub and a beer that night, who's made to feel bad? Just kidding, Josh. That wouldn't happen in our house. We know that, right? But do you see where I'm going with this? Gone are the days of the man or one partner taking care of the finances and another taking care of the household. So there's this confusion now. Where do I belong? If I don't do it all, who am I? So the roles are changing, right? So if we're working and we're entrepreneurs and we're high achievers, but then we are so darn worried about the outside pressures of, oh God, her kids are a mess. Did you see what she put on them? Did you see her house? She has dishes in the sink left over from dinner last night. What a shame. Her poor husband and kids. Anyone resonate with what I'm talking about? Now, we're going to switch that around. What do you think about women who have kids that are a mess, who have husbands that aren't nurtured? What do you think about women who take time for themselves and maybe go for a walk or go on a mini vacation with their girlfriends? What are your thoughts around that? All I'm doing is making you a little uncomfortable because I want us to understand the programming. If I am judging another woman on something, what am I really doing? Placing judgment on me. And when I place judgment on me and I feel like I need to be and do all things, that's how I get burnt out. That's how I start resenting. Then everyone goes, why are you so angry all the time? What's your problem? Why so critical? Times have changed, right? So can we still stay in our feminine energy and build an empire? Yes. Yes. So back in the day, and this is where I mean why our society has not yet caught up, right? The men are to be the providers and the women are supposed to be the nurturers. Well, what happens when the woman is the provider? Do they still need to be the nurturer? A huge complaint that I get from women is this. My husband no longer speaks up for himself. My husband doesn't lead. My partner. Sorry, I don't mean I love all people. I'm just going to say that. My situation just happens to be my husband. So that's just what I'm going to say. Okay. But this is what we're doing. Okay. So if the man and the woman are both providing financially, but the man in the masculine energy who wants to stay in his masculine, meaning the doer, the fixer. Anyone else have partners who are fixers? Oh man. I mean, I will say to my husband, like, I'm going to share with you something and you do not have permission to fix this. He's like, you may not. He's like, what do you want me to do? I want you to listen. For how long? For as long as it takes. And then what are we gonna do about it? We gotta do something. We gotta do something. Men are fixers, right? Who are in their masculine energy. So can we be supported if it's not only in the financial way? And keep them where they want to be and us where we want to be. Yeah, times have changed. What does that look like for you? You get to design that. You get to design that. But a lot of times I hear from women all of these limiting beliefs, and the reason I'm bringing it up on on like the male female traditional roles, because I want you to start questioning everything. Who says that served at one point? Does it serve my life today? And the roles are just one example. I want you to start questioning everything. Who says? Is this something that I actually really want? Is this the life that I want? Is this the life that I desire? Is this the role I choose? Or am I just living by what I'm supposed to be doing? And I'm burning myself out to make everybody else around me think that everything is really great. Right? So that is where we will work on. I will be confident that the outside world trusts I can handle all things. But am I worthy of feeling taken care of? Am I worthy of accomplishing the dream? Am I worthy of taking a time out? Am I worthy of creating boundaries? Confidence is what is the outside world thinking of me? How am I projecting me, myself, to the outside world? Worthiness is on the inside. Your worthiness is the foundation and your ceiling. It is your foundation and it is your ceiling. What do I mean by that? If I build a house without a strong foundation, what happens to that house when bad weather comes by? It's blown, it's destroyed. Okay? Your worthiness is your foundation. It is also your ceiling of how high you believe you can go. The confidence part is the house. Am I working on being confident for the outside to see? And if what is left then, if that house, everything I am competent and confident in doing, what happens to me if that is all taken away? What happens to me? So I want you to start thinking about this. Your house, what are you confident in? Maybe you are the best real estate agent in your market. Maybe you are the most proficient accountant. Maybe you are the absolute best with animals. Maybe you and you are like, I am the best. I am so good at this. It kind of makes me laugh when I see like all of these like designations and everything behind signatures. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but if you've ever gotten an email from me, you're not going to see any. Why? I used to. Oh, the more the better. Why wouldn't I do that now? I mean, you could. It doesn't matter if you do. I'm not judging it if you do. No big deal. But what I want to do is I want to say I have all these designations. This is how good I am. See? So many houses I've sold. See? This is how much money I make. See? What happens when it's all taken away? What happens if it is? What happens if tomorrow you can't work? Are you still worthy? Are you still good enough? That's where imposter syndrome comes. Because inside we don't feel like we're good enough. And so we keep striving and striving and striving for more. And so I'll be happy when I get this designation. I'll be happy when I sell 20 million. I'll be happy when I receive this award. That's working on our confidence. Nothing wrong with building confidence. A beautiful thing. But understand if we're only building confidence, does that lead to a very fulfilled life? No. If we're only building confidence and we're not working on our worthiness, does it take away the idea that I'll be judged if I raise my prices? I'll be judged if I do something for myself? No, doesn't take it away. So many times I have had women say to me, oh my gosh, this is such a common theme. I almost feel guilty because I found my zone of genius and it feels too easy. My work comes to me really easily. So I feel bad about that. Hold on here. You know you're the best. You know you're good at what you do. You work on like a repeat or referral business or whatever. People are knocking at your doorstep in order for you to use them. You're like, I am just open to receive. And look at this. People are coming at me. What do? We sabotage it because we don't feel worthy of people just knocking on our door and wanting the business or to raise our prices or to have a vacation or to do. So we'll sabotage it. The way that I used to sabotage it is I couldn't take a compliment. I did share. If someone said, oh my gosh, you have a beautiful business, I would literally be like, oh yeah, but oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. Last week was like, I worked till midnight every night. Like I have to like justify success. I have to justify how hard I worked for it. I have to justify why I'm not worthy of it until I just burn myself out into the ground. What is it that we're thinking about other women then with success? What is it that we're judging in other women that things come easily to? A lot of times we spend so much time with ourselves that we don't pay attention to what we're saying to ourselves. But here's a promise I'm going to make to you. What you are judging in other women is first being judged within you. It is something you are judging within yourself. Our outside world is a mirror of what we believe we're worthy of inside. It is a mirror. So if I am looking at other women and I'm saying, must be nice, she has the success I desire, and I am looking at her, judging her for her success. And then I wonder, why don't I have that? What am I judging? Why don't I feel like they're worthy or I'm worthy, and that they must have just had something else, right? Our outside world is a mirror of what we are projecting on the inside, of who we are on the inside. Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask all of you to get a pen and paper if you don't have one already. High achieving women, entrepreneurs, a lot of realtors, business owners. Okay. Ask yourself this: what do you really want out of life? What would you love for your business, and what would you love for your personal life? What would that look like? Okay. So maybe just write down one or two things. I would love this in my business, and I would love this in my personal life. What do I currently want right now that I do not have? I'm not talking about the things that you already have. If you're in a beautiful, healthy, happy marriage, like, don't say, well, okay, like, I would love a beautiful, happy, healthy marriage. You already have it. If you would love to sell 10 million and you sold 10 million last year, you already did it. What would you love right now in your life that you do not have currently? Is it a lake home? Is it 4 vacations a year? Is it never work a Sunday of my life? Is it $1 million liquid cash in my account? Is it I would like to reconcile a relationship? What do I want in my life right now that I currently don't have? That's a desire. What do I want? Now, if you're having a hard time with this exercise and you're frustrated with the way that your life is, I want you to really get uncomfortable and do this exercise. So a lot of times people will say, oh, Brooke, I'm nowhere near where I thought I would be in life. And I say, oh, really? It's interesting. Where did you think you would be? I don't know, but not here. Okay. What would have looked different? I don't know. We don't know where we're going. We're there. So we got to know what we want. What would I love? Some of you have heard me say that example before, right? Like, so they're like, I don't know what I want. I don't know where I'm going. That's like saying to me, I'm going on vacation next week. And I say, that's great. You're going on vacation next week. Where are you going? We're headed west. Awesome. Where are you going? We're just going to head west. Like, you're going to the lake shore, or you're like going to the Rockies? I don't know. How do you know when you're going to hit your destination? I'll just know it when I hit it. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. How many of us live life like that? I'm just going to keep pushing forward. Well, where are you going? I don't know. Why are you doing it? I don't know. What do you want? I don't know. Why are you doing it? I don't know. Someone told me that I should. Someone told me I should grow. Someone told me that this is what I'm capable of. What do you want? I don't know. No one's ever asked me. I just don't want what I'm doing right now. This is a really uncomfortable thing for a lot of us to think about. And if you find yourself right now saying, what should I want? Scratch it out right now. We're getting rid of the shoulds. There are no I should. If you find yourself saying I should or I need to, I want you to ask yourself, says who? We are grown ass woman here, right? Like we do not like there are no shoulds. Everything you do is a choice. None of us need anything. Now, we might say need because we don't like the consequences if we choose different. But then are we choosing to avoid the consequence? Well, what's the consequence? Well, I don't want so and so to be mad at me. Okay. Why? Why does that matter to you? Okay, so what do you want? What do you want? Put it some of you put in the chat. If you came up with something, what do you want? Is it a feeling? Is it a do you have a vision? Huge adjustments. So I will read your comments. So if I'm a little behind on those, I apologize. Laura, yeah. Okay. Good. Laura, if you want to expand on that and put it in the chat, that would be awesome. I would love that. So if you put in the chat like questions, I will review them. But for now, if you are a high achieving woman, I am going to go under the assumption that you have a goal. I am going to work under the assumption that you're working towards something. If you already have worked out your goals, put it in the chat. You can even make something up. Give me a goal. $1 million in the bank, sell $20 million in real estate, create a team. My entrepreneurs who are still in the service industry, would you love more time? How would you feel? What would that do for you? Right? 250 in my bank account for a down payment in my new lake house. Okay, awesome. Andrea, there's
Yes.
two things I love about this. First of all, you are very specific. I would love $250,000 liquid cash in my bank account for a down payment in my new lake house. Then, great. So I want you to start thinking about here, 250. Why 250? Did someone else tell you that number, or did you work out the math because you know exactly what lake house you want and how much you want to put down and how much you're going to spend on it? Where is the lake house? Where are you going? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Is there natural light in it? What do you want? Why do you want it? Most importantly, why do you want it? I want you to get into how is it going to make you feel? What does it feel like? Is it a place for alone time or is it a place for family and friends to gather? What does that feel like? Is it because you love the sand on your toes or the water all over you, or you like the sunsets? What does that feel like? Moving you into the feminine, the feeling. I want this, but then we miss the piece of why do I want that? What does that make me feel like? Okay. Personal life, rebalance our relationship with regard to the masculine energy from me and having my husband pick up a bit of the leadership. I am the fixer. Okay. Husband is 3 years retired. Oh my gosh, Karen, the women I work with, I am sure can relate to this. Whoo! How do I know? Because we have a lot of conversations about it. I'm in my masculine energy all the time, and I just want my partner to take a leadership role in something. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Again, masculine and feminine. I'm speaking of energy. I'm not speaking of sexes. Okay. What happens in a partnership when there are two people who are constantly in the masculine energy? The doing, the mechanical, the highly goal oriented. I'm the doer, I'm the fixer, I'm going to go and I'm going to go and I'm going to go and I'm going to go. If there is one person in a partnership, and I'm talking about your friendships, your relationship, even with your children, if there are two people who are highly into the mechanical, are you connecting? Are you slowing down? Are you dreaming together? Are you nurturing each other? Are you taking care of each other? Okay. The other way too is if we have two people that are highly into the feminine, well, who the heck is getting any shit done? Like, what's going on there? We're just all in our feels. Everything is beautiful. Great. You be in your feels and be really happy and be really broke. Good for you. Like we have to still like do, but we're going to talk about where we're going to do from. Okay. So I will be very honest with you. I am a woman who has found herself in her masculine energy a lot. I am someone who has very intentionally had to, once I learned the difference between my masculine and my feminine, because we all have both. This is where I'm going into like the roles of each. Both people are highly achieving, both people are outworking. The woman still feels like she has to be doing everything in the household. Okay? We're building resentment. We're doing. Who's connecting? So, as a single mom, as a business owner, I was in the doing all the time. Before my husband now, and before I became aware of this, I was attracting men who were in their feminine energy. And they drove me nuts. Or I would meet them when they were in their masculine energy. They were like the doers, they were goal oriented, but I would overpower them so much that they were afraid to make a decision because I would criticize it. Well, just get out of my way, I'll do it better. I would suck the masculinity out of men because I was so far in my masculine energy that then I would be like, do you even have a backbone? Are you going to lead this family in one way or another? Am I making space? Am I making space? If that is what I want, am I making space for it? So we have to learn this dance between the two, right? We can be, in fact, it is so much more fulfilling when we do get into our feminine energy, meaning our imagination, our gratitude, slowing down, hugging, appreciating, self-care. It actually makes us better when we do go into the mechanical because we're operating from a place of self-love, of worthiness, of I'm choosing this life. I'm excited about this life. I have gratitude for this life. Rather than sucking out the masculinity out of everyone around me because I'm such a control freak and think I have to do everything myself. And then I look around and I go, why the heck isn't anyone doing anything? Why the heck am I not getting any help around here? Oh, because I've positioned myself to be the person that has to do everything. So nobody else can do it better. So, and I'm going to criticize the heck out of you if you do it differently than what I want. So I'm going to suck the masculine energy out of everyone around me. And then I'm going to wonder why I'm the only one leading. I'm the only one taking action. I'm the only one that gets anything done. I promised you I would not coach from a place that I have not been. Huge awareness for me. Huge awareness. Tomorrow, you're going to hear me say, this is kind of going to be the be and do and have it. So a lot of times, especially with this group right here, because I just have spoken to most of you and very close with with several of you. So we're just gonna go off the grid here a little bit. I had this awareness when I started to think about this, and I do see some comments in here, and I will go through them, but I just wanted to share this story with you. There was a point in my life where I had to look at myself and I went, Brooke, you accomplish anything you want to accomplish. You've overcome things that most people like you have accomplished more, and anything in the business world or in like any type of thing, you figure it out. You're a doer, like, and you're pretty darn good at it. Why then can you not figure it out with your relationships? Why then do you not have fulfilling relationships? And I mean, like, I had to look at even my friendships. Sure, I'd be around women, but did I want to be, or or like, were these people I wanted to spend my time with? And men, oh my God, like, I just started dating the same guy over and over with a different face. Like, right? I had to get to a place where I was like, okay, and this is the path I'm walking you down. I can figure it out in every area of my life. Why do I feel so disconnected? Why do I feel so unfulfilled in relationships? And I had to figure it out. And I was like, okay, Brooke, you can figure this out in every area of your life. Well, the number one thing I discovered was I was attached to the outcome. I felt like I needed somebody. Hmm. Is that for the outside world? Because marital status, single mom, I've got something to prove. I'm not good enough if I'm alone. All lies, by the way. Or did I feel worthy of having a beautiful, healthy relationship with my friends and with those I would desire to be around? So the first thing I had to do was I had to start taking a look and say, okay, what would I love? If I chose to be in a relationship with a person that I would desire, and I'm not like talking, oh, this is my example of like a life partner, but think about this with people in general. If I chose to have a life partner, what would I love to have in a life partner? What would that feel like? So I had to get into my imagination and I started writing things down. If I were to have a life partner, he would be growth minded. Growth minded and open minded were very important to me. He would believe in a higher power. If he's a dad, he's a hands on dad. It's important to me that he have a career that he loves, not just bringing home a paycheck, but something that fills his cup and he loves doing. What would I love in a partner? What would I love for this to look like? What, and then I'd say, why do I want that? How does that make me feel? And the way that I would feel when I would close my eyes and go into my imagination, it is so incredible, Laura, that your picture on your Zoom right now is of what it is. Because in my imagination, because I know that I love being by the water and I know what it makes me feel like, in my imagination, I would get into the feeling of love with a partner. And what that was just a silhouette. I did not even see his face. And it would be hugging, it would be nurturing. I felt cared for. I got to the feeling of safety. I got to the feeling of love. I would go into my imagination. First, I decided what I wanted, and I was very specific. The only thing I did not say, I'm going to see if I can find this list. I actually do. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a list. And then I would go into my imagination. The only thing that I did not put in there was what he looked like. And I don't know if you guys have seen my husband, but I was like really blessed in that area. I was like, okay, I'll take that. I mean, I'm sure we all think our husbands are the bee's knees, right? But okay, like, whoa, all right, this is cool. So, but here's what happened. I had to get into my imagination and feel the feeling. But before I did that, I had to know what I wanted. What is it that I want specifically? And then can I get into my imagination and feel the feeling? Now, here's the beautiful thing. Can I feel cared for? Can I feel love? Can I feel safety without him being there? Yes. If I can get into my imagination and have that feeling, I can feel it. I don't need somebody else to be there for me to feel it. I can feel it. It got to a point where I had been doing this several weeks and I was like, at this point, I don't even care if he shows up. I'm good. I'm not kidding. I was in the feeling of love, joy, security, safety without him there. Isn't that what we're always chasing is the feeling? Why do I want it? Because I want to feel this way. This is how I feel. This is what, and then we get into our imagination and we feel it. But here's the real biggie. When he showed up, because I had been in my imagination so much and felt it, didn't sabotage it when it showed up. It was comfortable for me. I didn't sabotage it. Back before him, back before I did this, another one that was he needs to be emotionally available. Okay. Well, if I want a man who's emotionally available and I'm getting into the feeling of somebody who's emotionally available, why am I choosing then before to date guys that I feel like I had to prove myself to? Why am I feeling like I need to be chosen? Oh, you're emotionally available? That's a turn off. You're too easy. Like, oh. Oh, you want to take care of me? Oh, you don't know all my baggage. You really don't. Once I expose myself to you, you're gonna hit the ground running. We will sabotage what we want. We don't feel worthy of having it or know what it feels like to be there. Because what we will do is we will default to what is comfortable, even if it's not good for us. So we all have programming. We all have, most of our programming came to us before the age of 7. It's the household that we were raised in. It's the vibe that we were in. It's the feeling. It's the energy that was around us. It's that, like a lot of people say, like that Catholic guilt, right? Or that shaming in whatever it is, right? So if that is how we grew up and we felt like that is how it was supposed to be, even if it's not good for us, we will default to what's comfortable until we decide otherwise and get into our imagination and make that our new comfort. So, how does it feel? What do I want? How does it feel? Then I have to ask myself, okay, if I want to feel comforted, if I want to feel love, if I want to feel joy, if I want healthy, if I want bliss and fun and communication, who then do I need to be? Who then do I need to be? Who do I need to be to attract what I want? Who do I need to be to attract what I want? Okay. So I'm going to read a couple of things in here. So it says, okay, Andrea, we got yours. I love it. I love how specific it is. Personal life, rebalance relationship with regard to the masculine energy from me. Okay, Karen, if you want your husband to pick up some of the leadership, who then do you need to be to allow that? You know what you want. How does it feel when he actually, then I want you to get into your imagination, says, how does it feel if my husband's leadership in a leadership role? Ooh, kind of fun. I'm a little taken care of. I have like a little bit more time on my hands. I don't feel resentment. I allow him to do it his way, even if it's not my way.
I need to give him more space.
Give him the space to do that, right? But that's the doing. I'm going to give him the space to do it. Okay. That's the doing. Us high achieving women this is what we do. This is what I want. So this is what I need to do to get it. Hold on. We're missing the biggest secret there. This is what I want. How do I feel? And then who do I need to be? Not a lot of times people say, and when I say be, do, have, I have this on my card. Josh has this on his card. Be, do, have. The being is not the doing. The being is, who am I? If I want to have my husband lead me in some ways, then who do I need to be in order to allow my husband to lead me in some ways? Am I a woman who's in gratitude? Am I in a woman who can let go of control on some things? Am I a woman who trusts that the people I surround myself with have my best interest at heart, even if I can't see it all the time? Okay, who do I need to be in order to have that? I want a house on the water in Florida and a big, beautiful, I'm like, I know who this is right away. Big, beautiful boat and money to send my grandkids to private school. Yes. Okay. So we know what we want. House on the water in Florida. I think I know someone who can help you with that, by the way, Lori. Okay. All
I
right.
think I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
Yep.
do too.
You do too? Okay, good. Yeah. So I'll just say that Linda's, I hope it's okay, Linda. Linda's a client of mine. She lives in Florida. She's an excellent real estate agent. House in Florida, big, beautiful boat, and money to send my grandkids to private school. I want you to get more specific in your imagination. What kind of house? What does it look like? What kind of boat? Why? Why do you want that? What do you feel like? Why do I want it? Get specific on that. Okay. Then who do I need to be in order to have this? How much money would I need to make? How much money would I choose to make? What would I love? Okay, then we're going to start in who am I then to be before we get into the doing? I heard you ask, but when I spoke on resonance before, I was referring to the feeling of guilt I would receive from others, from clientele flowing in fluidly to me, and that a high achiever, my success has also been sustainable with ease. Also about feeling the need to justify that success instead of taking compliments when they do come. Because of those ways others have made me feel before the hijacking the attitude of abundance. Okay, Laura, the guilt when I receive from others, from clientele flowing in fluidly to me, that a high achiever with my success has been sustainable with ease. That's a guilt. There's a guilt there. So the one thing that we're chasing is the one thing that we're sabotaging because of guilt. I want business to come to me with ease. But when it happens, I feel guilty. So I'm going to sabotage it. See how we do that? Want this, but. So we need to get into the feeling then, Laura, of business comes to me easily and effortlessly, and I'm so grateful for it. People want to pay me what I'm worthy, what I'm worth. Could that be just a feeling that we have right now that feels a little foreign to us, that just feels a little off? Can we change, now that we're aware of that, can we change the story about it? I am very good at what I do. Of course, people would knock at my door and want to give me clients. I'm the best at what I do. I don't need to justify that. I found my zone of genius. I am darn good at what I do. I am so grateful for the business. Of course, it's coming to me. Why wouldn't it come to me? Why wouldn't it? If not, they need this service. So if not me, who else? Well, no. When we get into the feeling of that and we get into the feeling of I'm so grateful for, of course they're going to use me. Of course this is what happens. Of course money comes to me easily because I'm so good at what I do. I am worthy of it already. I don't need to prove a darn thing. Isn't that a lighter feeling than, oh gosh, I'm going to feel so bad. I'm going to be judged. This and I want to just say too, Laura, this is a very, very common thing with a lot of us. A lot of us will play small to make other people feel comfortable. So we'll sabotage our success because of how we feel about it. So ask yourself, where am I judging that? Where am I judging that? Is that something that I see with other people? Do I feel okay if other people are charging what they're worth? Do I feel okay if business comes to other people easily and effortlessly because they're good? Okay. All right. What do I want? How does it feel? Then I want you to say, okay, who do I need to be? Now, a lot of times, a lot of us will go into with the who do I need to be on the doing. Well, I'll go get this resignation. I'll go get this certificate. I'll pick up the phone a million times and dial until my hand feels like it's going to break, right? I am going to dress to impress. I'm going to be in the office. That is the doing. High achieving women, of myself, my coach needs to remind me of this too, will go from immediately, what do I want, to the doing. We miss a crucial step. We do this in our businesses, and I gave you the example of how I met Josh. I could have said, I would like a man, or I would like a partner, or I would like, and I just want him to be like successful and growth minded. And if he's a dad, he's a good dad. Great. Okay, now I know what I want. How am I going to do it? I am going to go on a date every single day. I'm going to sign up for every dating service. I'm going to block off all this time. I'm just going to go date. And when he shows up, I'll just know it. We miss the crucial step. The crucial step is feeling it, getting into our imagination, and saying, who do I need to be? This is how I want to feel. Who do I need to be? Who am I? Who do I need to be? Not what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? I need to get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled so that when it shows up on my doorstep, I don't sabotage it. If I do not get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled first, it will be so foreign that I will sabotage it because I will not feel worthy of it. I didn't work hard enough for it because my past tells me I shouldn't have that. We do this in our businesses. Okay. So the confidence is what I project on the outside world. The self-worth is what I feel on the inside. It's the belief that I am worthy enough right now. Okay. Couple examples. I want you to start asking yourself with this. Do I resonate with any of this? Self-confidence is the belief that I am skilled enough. So say, who do I need to be? Well, I just need to be more skilled. That's the doing. Self-worth is believing that I already am enough no matter what. Self-confidence is self-confidence is everything that can be seen on the outside. Self-confidence is saying, I'm the number one realtor. I hit this goal. I work really hard. I am the best of the best. Of course, you'll want to use me. Self-worth is walking into a room and knowing if it's all taken away from you, you can rebuild it because of who you are. No big deal. When we know we're worthy, we don't live in worry. What if it's all taken away? Okay. What if it's all taken away? So some of you have written affirmations. Okay. If you're anyone in here an affirmation writer, okay, affirmation writer. I want us to start separating our affirmations. When I look at my affirmations, am I writing, I'm a millionaire? I'm an owner of a lake house. I'm happily married. I have my doctorate degree. I own a business with a storefront at this place, right? Those affirmations are really great. But the examples of the affirmations that I just gave, which ones do they work on? Self-confidence or self-worth? Self-confidence. Everything I just mentioned could be seen on the outside world. I'm a millionaire. I have a lake house. I have a business front. I'm the best of the best. When you're writing your affirmations, ask yourself, am I writing them through self-confidence or am I writing them through my self-worth? My self-worth is, if you're a Christian, maybe it's, I'm a child of God. I can do all things. I am love. I can feel love no matter what. I have enough love for me. I feel joy in all that I do. I'm able to observe rather than ride the waves of emotions that life happens to me. If you're not a Christian or if you believe in the universe or source energy, everything is always working out for me. My wish is always my end is always coming through. Or combination of everything, right? Worthiness, confidence. So if you are in the practice of writing affirmations, I want you to pay attention to what is it that you are writing. Are you focused on your self-worth or are you focused on your self-confidence? If we're writing affirmations because out of only confidence, what we're really doing is saying, I'll be worthy when. I'll be worthy when I have the million. I'll be worthy when I hit the charts. I'll be worthy when I have the storefront. I'll be worthy when I have the partner. I'll be worthy when I have the cottage. I'll be worthy when I'm able to retire. I'll be worthy when. Can you be worthy now without it? That's the foundation. Because what will happen is if we don't start working on our worthiness and we're only working on what we're confident in, if it's all taken away, what happens to us? All of our worth has been put on our business success. All of our worth has been put on our relationship status. All of our worth has been placed on how much money I have in my account, how far out my calendar is planned, how clean my house is. And then what we do is we sabotage it. Well, if I don't do this, I'm going to be judged. I'm going to not be worthy. Ooh. What if you showed up in a room, not as an imposter of saying, I am worthy to be here, but you knew it? What do you think happens to your business at that point when you are very clear on what you want? What do you think happens when you know you are love and you walk into a room that you desire love from? What do you think happens when we focus on what we're grateful for and what's going really well in our lives rather than how people and everything around us is falling short and not living to our standard? What happens? This is the foundation. Yeah. We're always attracting, Laura. We are always attracting. No worries if we are worth it. Yeah. No worries. So I want you to think about this. Um, we are always attracting. We are always attracting. So when I went back and I said, and I want us to think about the underlying thoughts, because feeling, some of us have watched like the movie The Secret, right? The biggest thing that they missed in that movie on attraction is that feeling is the secret. Feeling in the wish fulfilled is the secret. Now think about this. I read a couple of things to you that I have heard over and over from and have gone through myself. Okay. I have a dream and I don't know what's stopping me. I feel like I'm meant for more. What's the feeling behind that statement? Frustration? Something stopping me, but I don't know what. I know I'm meant for more, but I just, insecurity. So what we're doing then in that statement is saying, I know I'm meant for more. I have a dream. I can see it. But the feeling around that statement is not, and I am absolutely capable of doing this. I am confident. I am love. I am good. Everything that is always working out for me. I can see this vision. The feeling is insecurity. What are we attracting? More insecurity, more lack, more worry. Okay. I pursue big things, but then I sabotage success or I hit a ceiling. Well, I'm going to pursue big things, or why even bother? Because I'm just going to sabotage it anyway. This is, I'm not even going to try because I already know I'm going to fail. Or if I build something really big with my on the outside world, it might make me confident, but if it's all taken away, it's going to crush me. Putting our worth on that. So I'll just stay comfortable and not play big. Things look good on the outside, but on the inside, I'm crumbling. I'm worried about what everyone else sees. And so, but I'm crumbling on the inside. Disconnected. Sadness. The worry. I have to keep this together in order for it to continue to look like I have everything. What happens if it crumbles? Are you going to be okay? And then we go, I don't understand why I'm so stressed out. It's because we are feeling attached to what we are desiring on the outside. What if you're like, I'm good anyway? I'm good. It's that attachment and it's that need, and it's coming from that lack that when the universe, source, God, energy says, it's all right here. It's that feeling of lack. It's that feeling of attachment. It's that feeling of need that blocks it and says, nah, I don't want to receive you because I'm worried it's going to be taken away. I'm worried that I'm just going to sabotage it anyway. The biggest one that I hear over and over and over, and I said this earlier, was I know that I'm worth more than I charge for my services, but I'm afraid that I'll lose business. And even worse, I'll be judged by the people that I love if I do. What are we saying there? I know I'm worth more, but I'm going to play small because other people's opinions mean so much to me that I will completely play small to make other people around me comfortable because I am so worried that someone might be mad at me. You know your self-worth doesn't matter if someone's mad at you. I got news for you. I don't put my worth on people being mad at me anymore. You know what that's done? It's allowed me to be better for everybody. If I'm so worried about someone being mad at me, my focus is on they're going to be mad at me. And I go down this spiral. But what if I just say, I know what I'm going after. I know what I'm doing. I'm showing other people what's possible. I'm unafraid to dream big and go after it. I'm unafraid to put myself in a place that I already know I'm worthy. How many more people, how many more lives can I touch if I come from that place rather than worrying about upsetting one or two? If I am full and I am happy, I then can be the light for everybody else. If I'm playing small and I'm sabotaging and I'm in worry and I'm in fear, am I living out my purpose? No. So we have to build the foundation. Okay. Do we have any questions on the difference between worthiness and confidence? A lot of you probably joined here because you say, yeah, I am a high achiever. I am successful. And it looks like that on the outside, but what the heck is missing? That's it right there. That's it. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to read here. I need to walk into that room feeling the love, gratitude, not the confidence side. Yeah. Yeah. And let me say this too. There is being confident is a beautiful thing. I want us to be confident. I want us to be competent in what we do. But being confident without knowing your worth creates a ceiling. It creates the ceiling. It gives us what we call imposter syndrome because we're constantly worried about being found out. Right? The other thing too that I want you to think about is if you start to have these thoughts of, well, if I raise my prices, people will be mad at me. If I grow my business too fast, people will talk about me. If it looks like it's too easy, I'm going to feel guilty. When you have those thoughts, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I think of other people when that happens? If somebody who was the best of the best and you were giving them their business called you tomorrow and said, I'm raising my prices, would your thought be, good for you? I have been wondering when you were going to do this because you are the best and I am never leaving you anyway. Or is it, who do they think they are? I've been loyal for 5 years. They're going to raise their prices on me? Who do they think they are? If you're chasing, I want to run $1 million company, what are your thoughts around other women or business owners that have $1 million company? Is it, who would they sleep with to get there? Now she thinks she's a big shot. Hmm. Or is it, that is so inspiring? I am so excited for the day that my business hits 1 million as well. See where I'm going with this? What we are judging in other people has nothing to do with the other people. It has everything to do with how you feel about your self-worth. Nothing. I will let you know this right now. I will not be in a room, and I know my husband can attest to this, of gossip. I will not. That is the lowest vibration you can be in. If I'm in a room of gossip and I am engaging in it, is the problem the person that we're gossiping about, or is the problem me? I can promise you this, people who are doing really great things and focus on ideas, and they are not worried about what other people are doing. They don't care. They don't care. And when we do that, we're actually lowering our vibration and our level of awareness to the one thing that we're judging. That's what we're doing. It might make you feel better and good about yourself for a minute, but what we're doing is we are judging us. So start asking yourself that. What am I observing? And where do I place judgment around it? We're always judging. We be in the judgment. This is why I want to say nothing is ever good or bad. It is the judgment that we put around it that makes it good or bad. So can we reverse the way that we're looking at each other if we are feeling worthy of having that $1 million, $10 million, $100 million company? If that's the goal, because we want to make a big impact, because we want to leave a legacy, because we want to make a difference, because we want to show what's possible, because we know that we're worthy of living the life that all is provided for us and we are done blocking it. Why would I then put my vibration down to the level that I am working so hard on myself and me? Every time I am judging, every time I am looking at something, every time I am worrying, I am coming from a place of lack and I am creating more. So we have to make some decisions here. Where does our worth come from? How well we fit in? Where do you want to be? Right? Because we cannot set a big goal, get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, decide who we want to be, and then default to the lower vibration and the lower level of awareness that, and be in rooms of people who have no idea what they want, but they sure as heck are judging someone else who's going after what they want. We're not going to be getting to our dreams and goals if we are sitting in rooms of people who are not action takers and dreamers and know what they want, and they are living in absolute like poorness isn't the word, but like lack, limitation, unhappiness. We're putting ourselves in those rooms and it's important to us to fit in. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. All right. Now, questions on that. What do I want? Can I get into my imagination? Does it feel like? Then who do I need to be? That is the first step. Who do I need to be? Not what do I need to do? Who do I need to be? My worthiness. Who do I need to be? Okay. Because what's going to happen, and I talk about imposter syndrome here for a minute. If any of you are wondering what imposter syndrome is I can just say this. Imposter syndrome is feeling like I don't belong. So if we're working on the skills, the certificates, the designation, the making sure that we have the experience, the comparison game. Imposter syndrome is saying, I'm confident that I sold this much real estate and I'm going to get this award. I know how. But worthiness is, but if they found out that last year I only sold 2 million, I don't belong here. I'm not good enough. Everybody in this room is better than I am because of what they've done before me. That's imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is, I want to raise, but I don't feel worthy of it. Imposter syndrome is, I'll walk into the room, but I won't get close with other people because I don't want to be found out. I don't want them to find out that I'm not that smart. I don't want them to know about my past. I don't want them to know what my bank account looks like. So I'll walk in and I'll have my shoulders held back and I'll present myself with confidence. But inside, I don't feel like I really belong in this room. Imposter syndrome is justifying your success with what you did and how hard you worked for it. Imposter syndrome is doing what you can to make yourself as presentable as possible when you walk out. But then when someone compliments you, you can't take it. Can't say thank you. Oh, this old thing. Oh, I need my hair done so bad. Oh my gosh, but did you see my wrinkles? I'm so old. Oh, thanks, man. I'm just so exhausted today. Can't take a compliment. You're going to do what you can to look your best when you walk out the door, but the minute someone says something to you, no. You're going to work to get the award. You're going to work to hit your goal, but then the minute someone appreciates you for it, you're going to go, oh gosh, no, but I'm not really worthy of it. I'm not good enough. You're going to raise your prices because you know you're the best. But you're going to worry about people talking about you and judging you behind your back. Am I worthy? If you have not experienced any of these before in your life, please consider yourself lucky because I have experienced every single one of them. So if you are in that position right now and you are saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I want you to know you are not alone. I will dare say that 100% of us have felt this way, if not right now, at some point or another in our lives. Why? Because we have worked so hard on what the outside is saying to us and not just freaking being worthy of it right now. Now, some of you might be saying, but Brooke, you don't understand. You don't understand my family. You don't understand my upbringing. You don't understand my spouse. You don't understand my community. You don't understand, like, no, no, no. What are we choosing? Remember when I said we don't have to do anything? What are we choosing? But I need to do this. Are you choosing to do that? Who's paying your bills for you? Who's raising your kids for you? Who's married to your spouse? Who's living your life? Who's doing your job? Are you creating your life? Or are the people who are around you with a lot of demands and want you to play small creating your life? Choice is yours. I'll say it again. I say this to Josh all the time. I'm a grown ass woman. Who says? Who's choosing for you? Are we playing small to fit in? But here's what I want to also say to you. What group, what crowd do you want to play? Do you want to fit in with? When we grow, there can be feelings of like, oh, I don't know if I belong in this room. And we can go through a period of I'm growing, I'm outgrowing my group right now, I'm outgrowing the people around me right now. But I'm so excited to be in this room. So there, I want you to picture yourself like kind of walking down the hallway. Okay. You right now, you're walking down a hallway and there's doors to the hallway from the hallway. Okay. You're going, picture yourself right now in the room that you're in right now. What room are you in? Who's around you? What's the level of success that they have? What's the level of awareness that they have? What's the level of happiness that they experience? What's the level of joy that they have in their lives and love that they have in their lives and dreaming that they have in their lives? This is the room you're in right now. I'm in this room. I'm comfortable in this room. This is the room I'm in. Now use your imagination and take yourself out of that room. You're in the hallway. You have a choice. You're in the hallway alone. Feels a little lonely. Do I want to keep walking down the hallway and peek into the rooms to see which one I want to be a part of based off how I feel and the energy coming from that room? Or do I not even want to go to the hallway and look and just stay in the room I'm in because I'm comfortable and then complain and be upset that I'm in the same spot and didn't do what I wanted to do? A lot of us will stay comfortable because we're so afraid to go in the hall. Go to the hallway. Look in other rooms. What one do you want to be a part of? Do you want to be in the room that is full of gossip and complain and unworthiness and victimhood? That's one room. Do you want to go in another room of the dreamers, the doers, people who are living a life that you desire? You get to decide. Now, sometimes we might think when we go, I'm not walking into the other room because they're going to imposter syndrome. Well, I wouldn't be worthy of being in that room. Well, they would find me out. But Brooke, you don't understand my past. I got news for you. We all got one. We all got one. And the more vulnerable that you are with yourself and you start uncovering your stories, the better you are for everybody else. I did not get on here and be like, wow, my life has always been perfect. It's just always been amazing. And everything has just, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I became happy. I just don't know. Like, you had left this room an hour and a half ago. No, divorced, single mom, voted class airhead, not just in eighth grade, senior year too. Thought I was stupid. At best, a C student. Thought I was dumb. We all have it. You know what? I did some really crappy things when I thought I wasn't very smart and when I thought I was unlovable and when I thought I wasn't worth anything. I have a past that is not pretty in a lot of areas. So, so what? I can keep reliving that. I can keep going back there. I can keep saying, well, I'm not worthy of that. Well, I'm not very smart. Well, I'm such a failure in relationships and I was a single mom. So I guess that's just what I'm worth. Oh, like, oh man, no. Leave the past in the past and use that. Your pain is never for you to keep. I'm going to say that again. Your pain is never for you to keep. Never. Your pain so that you can grow from it and help other people. We're all high achieving women, entrepreneurs, business owners in here. If we all want to walk around that we have the utmost confidence and life has just always been perfect, who the heck are we going to help? I'm not taking advice from somebody who doesn't understand where I've been or who won't admit to themselves it. So understand now I look at things because contrast still happens all the time. It always will. I don't care how much money you have, it doesn't solve your problems. And now Josh and I will say to each other, well, this is going to be fun to see how this unfolds. This is just going to be part of our story. And then that way we can help somebody else that has gone through the same thing. Observe. Observe. Can I be an observer with all the contrast, or do I choose to participate in all the contrast? Which one? We can observe, look at it from the outside. But if we're so busy participating in all the contrast and getting emotionally involved and calling everyone that we know about to talk about it, and we're so hyper focused on everything that's going wrong and what they did and what this happened and this too and da 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 da, what are we creating more of? The same thing. That's participating in the contrast. Don't get me wrong, I participate in contrast. But the time I spend participating in the contrast now is so much shorter. Do I have to participate in this? Or can I just observe it? Because every time I participate, I'm bringing my awareness now to what it is that I'm judging and participating in. Can I observe? Keep my awareness. It doesn't mean contrast isn't still happening. But I'm a grown ass woman. I get to choose what I participate in. I'm not going to participate in that. Why? Because I'm worthy of feeling good. Because I love to feel joyful. And that doesn't make me feel good. So I'm going to just choose not to. That's okay. Oh, does that bother you? Um, Not sure why, but you're allowing that to bother you. I'm not allowing it to bother you. You're allowing it to bother you. That's for you to figure out. Yeah. Okay. So, what questions do we have about today? I'll be sending out a worksheet. Y'all know I love the worksheets because we can come here, we can know all the information, but if we don't actually put it into practice, nothing changes. We can have all the knowledge in the world. We go, oh, yeah, I read about that. Oh, yeah, I know about that. I don't want you to ask yourself, what did I hear today that I already know? I want you to ask yourself, what did I hear today? And how well do I already do it? How much do I implement it in my life? Yeah, I already know. Yeah, I already know. Yeah, I already had someone teach me that. Yeah, I already heard that. Yeah, I read a book that said the same thing. Great. You're a wealth of knowledge. How well do you do it? How well do you do it? Okay. So for the homework, and come tomorrow with this because tomorrow's going to be powerful. Tomorrow, we're going to put it all together. We're going to talk about, okay, I know what I want. I know why I want it. I know how it feels. I know that if I feel this way, I belong. I can walk into the room because I'm worthy of any room I choose to walk into. And by the way, if you choose to stay in the same room, that's still a choice. No action is still action. Okay. We're going to get into our imagination. What do I want? And the one thing that most people don't tell you is, how does it feel? You pay attention to how you feel. That is how you quantum leap. I have heard some of you say, I have quantum leaped my life. I have quantum leaped this area. I have quantum leaped this. The way that we quantum leap is we pay attention to how we feel. That's the quantum leap. If we just know what we want and we get into doing, we do and 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 do. What if we just knew what it felt like and we stayed in that feeling and started making decisions that from that version of us? Huh. Would millionaire Brooke or $10 million Brooke or the person who sells $20 million in sales or the person who has her rates as this, would the best of the best be engaging in this conversation? No, so I can make a decision right now to not engage in that conversation. Would this version of me worry about this person having their feelings hurt because I made a decision that was best for me? Probably not. Okay, so I can start making sure I make the decision from that place right now. Feeling. The feeling is the secret. We have to get into our imagination so much that when it shows up at our doorstep, which it will and it does, we don't sabotage it because we don't feel worthy of it. It has to start feeling comfortable. Okay, so we're going to get into that. And then tomorrow, once we've all decided what we want and what it feels like, we're going to talk about creating the boundaries in order to protect that. We're going to talk about, who do I need to be? Now, we're going to talk about, what do I need to do? Today's the being. Who do I need to be in order to have what I want? And that is the worthiness. That is who I am already. We're going to create boundaries around the who I am, the being. We're going to get into the doing. And would this version of me be doing this? Would this version of me be saying this? Okay. We're going to start thinking from that place. And then we're going to talk about the connection between what that will look like and how that's going to come into fruition. We spoke a little bit about today about the feminine and the masculine energies. I am going to bring in Josh for just a little bit because I saw a lot of you nodding, a lot of the conversations about like, yep, I do that. Yep, I do sabotage that. Yep, I do feel like that. And if you know anything about Josh, the funny thing is that he is like not in the feminine. I mean, he is in the feminine. He'll get into the feminine, but he's not a feminine man. And I have seen myself when I'm not cautious and in my own awareness, sometimes sucking that out of him. So he's going to talk to us about tomorrow about like not just friendships, not just relationships, but even in business, how being in our femininity is actually our superpower. Their superpower. You want to make a man crumble. You want to make someone in your business crumble. You want to make other women connect with you. You want to make like really have those connections. We're going to learn the dance between the feminine and the masculine. Good? Because we want to build our multi-million-dollar companies or whatever it is that you want to do. I don't care what the dollar amount is. I hope you know what it is. I don't care what it is, but I want you to know. But I need us to be absolutely fulfilled while we're doing it. So we have to learn the dance. It's not about doing more. It's about being her now. We're going to learn that. Okay? Questions? Comments? It's a messenger. It's a powerful perspective to problems. Okay. Laura, was that in regard to being an observer rather than a participant? Okay. Yeah. The perspective, right? The thing to think about with that too, before we go, is something I want you to, when you're an observer, when we sit back and we observe, one thing to think about is nothing is ever good or bad until you decide it is. Nothing is ever good or bad until you decide that it is. Some of you are looking at me like, what? Who says? Do I believe it's good or bad because of that? Or do I believe it's good or bad because I decided? Nothing's ever good or bad until you decide it is. Think about the political parties. Think about religion. Think about COVID. Think about appearance. Think about our weight. Think about the roles. Think about like in the household. Think about millionaires. Think about success. When I mentioned each of those, very likely a thought to you came. Political party. Oh, well, I'm really to the right. And so anyone to the left is cuckoo. Or I'm really to the left, but anyone to the right is like whatever. Right? I don't know. Do they all come from a place that they think they're right? Yeah. So what's right? What's wrong? What you decide. Health. Oh, well, I really need to, you have to weigh a certain amount in order to be healthy. You have to weigh enough, a certain amount in order to be attractive. Who says? You go to other parts of the world, and I'm telling you, you're a little bit voluptuous and got a little bit of extra weight on your bones, and it's like, ooh, all right, that is a sign of prosperity and wealth and health and beauty. Who says? Is that your belief, or is that something that you were programmed to believe? Nothing's ever good or bad until you decide. So when you start thinking about those, think about the programming too. Observe, that's being observer. Do I have to play? Do I have to be involved? Or can I observe this and say, that's an awareness. Where did that thought come from? Did that thought come from me or did that thought come from somewhere else? Do I believe that? Does that thought still serve me? You stay in the observer mode, we can go inward and get to know ourselves a little bit. Where did that go? But when we just are participating all the time, we're just being programmed. And then our lives are just going to turn out just like everything that programmed us to that, the people that raised us, the community that we're in, right? Start observing. Good. Okay. We'll get this out to you guys this evening. We have to surround ourselves with those on the same mission as us. Laura, let me address that. And I know we're right there. Okay. Laura, sorry, I missed that. We have to address ourselves. We surround ourselves with those that are on the same mission as us. Here's what I want to say about that. There are going to be people in your lives that you're just going to be around anyway. Some of us have families, some of us have, environments that we have that like maybe just don't have what we want. Okay. There is a way. It's going to be about boundaries tomorrow when I share this with you. But I don't want us to think that we have to exclude everybody that isn't like-minded or everybody that doesn't see things the way that we do, or only people that are like achieving something that we desire or have what we desire. I've learned to love people from a distance very well. And by distance, I don't even mean like physically. I mean, what do I decide to participate in? If I sit and want to tell them how wrong they are for who they are and how bad they raised me and how much programming they have in me, what I'm actually doing is lowering myself to the vibration of that and putting myself in the same awareness of the one thing that I'm fighting to get out of. Can I just observe and go, they did the best they could out of love at the level of awareness that they're at right now? I can love them fully from the place that I'm at, but I don't need to engage in everything with them anymore. I don't need to engage in it. Everything's energy, so we'll start attracting that. Okay? All right. Have fun with this. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. I can't wait. Tomorrow's going to be good, so make sure you're here. All right. We'll see ya. Thank
This was
you.
great. Thank you,
Good.
Brooke.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. We'll see you later.